Good morning from our first ever cruise. I'm Steven, she's Andy, and today we want to give you 7 reasons why cruising may not be for you.
Yeah, as first-time cruisers, one of the things that we asked ourselves was, is a cruise really for us? Turns out it is. But there are several legit reasons why they're really not for everybody. So let's get into it. Reason number 1, you get motion sickness. I can relate.
I had to pull over on the side of the road here in Tennessee because I was getting a little bit of motion sickness.
I totally can't even handle a drive over some basic mountains. If you've watched us, you've seen us pull a car over. However, I can tell you now from experience, it's not that bad. We're doing the Inside Passage in Alaska, which I hear is one of the more tame cruises. You do definitely want to come prepared. We packed Bonine, ginger chews, wristbands with the little acupressure points. I was not taking any chances, especially since we were going on a whale watch, and I knew on the smaller boat I was really going to be at risk for losing it, if you know what I mean. I am proud to say I've been totally fine pretty much this whole time. I think at first, the first couple days, I was just slightly queasy, a little bit in the stomach maybe. You can really feel the boat rocking now. I didn't take anything for it today. Been making me just a little bit queasy, but not so Just getting used to it, getting my sea legs. But after that, no problems at all, never really in danger of being sick, and I have been having an amazing time. So for that one, it depends on how sensitive you are. If you are very sensitive, you may want to reconsider the cruise. But if it is your reason for not going on a cruise, you might be able to overcome it.
Number 2, you're more about the destination than the journey.
The main reason we really didn't consider cruising before. In fact, there were only 2 cruises we ever thought we'd go on. One was to Alaska, and we are crossing that one off our bucket list right now. And then, of course, the other one is to Antarctica, because how else are you going to get there? We love to go to a place and just immerse ourselves in the culture, in the lifestyle, really spend some time getting a feel for the place. On a cruise, you're definitely not going to be able to do that. You get these quick ports of call where you spend maybe 8 or 9 hours if you get a good one. Yeah. So if you have a shore excursion, that's going to take up at least half, if not more, of that time. Maybe you'll get a chance to walk around a little bit near where the port is, but you're really not going to be able to get a real experience for the place. However, we've kind of been looking at the cruise itself as the destination. And this has its own culture. It's got its own people, it's got its own traditions, it's got its own way of doing things. So we're really immersing ourselves in the whole cruise culture and learning all about that instead. And of course then all of the Alaska trips and ports of call and excursions, those are just icing on the cake. And let me tell you, it's some really good icing.
Number 3, you don't like being tied to an itinerary or a schedule. This one's non-negotiable. You're on ship time. If you get bad weather, too bad. You can't reroute or reschedule things accordingly. If you like one port of call a little bit extra, you can't stay any longer. So cruising might not be for you.
Probably not. Number 4, you're not social. You're an introvert. Well, this one could be overcome. There is a lot of pressure on cruises to be social, chatty. You tend to see the same people around different places, so they get familiar. Sometimes you might end up sharing tables with people, but we actually haven't had to do that much, huh?
No.
So this is really dependent on you and the degree to which you're an introvert. We found that even though we don't like mixing it up too much, we're friendly enough that, we get a little chatty with some of the people in the elevator, and it's good time.
Wow, making you dizzy up?
A little bit.
Not me.
However, if you really want to avoid people, you probably can, especially if you catch some of these cruises in 2021 that aren't completely full.
Number 5, you're a foodie. We had heard a lot in advance of our cruise from a lot of different people about how great the food was on cruise ships.
We were really looking forward to it, and unfortunately, we've been a bit disappointed.
Yeah, it turns out maybe some of those people had a bit different taste than we do. The bottom line is you might not be that tantalized by the general offerings on these cruise ships unless maybe you were to do the specialty dining for every single meal.
Now keep in mind, this is one ship on one cruise line,
Yeah.
So our experience is extremely limited. However, we had heard so many good things about the food here that we were really looking forward to some stuff that just did not meet our expectations. We've had some really good things.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of just good or okay stuff, and then we've had some things that were perplexingly not good.
Yeah, the baked goods, what's up with that?
How is it all so dry? Definitely temper your expectations, do your research, and try to get a sense of what other foodies think of different cruise lines before you pick yours. This might be overcome, but you might have a better time going on a DIY food tour instead, someplace that you fly to, and just spend your time exploring food options in a city or in a region instead of cruise.
Number 6, you're a solo traveler.
Yeah, the rules on this one seem really unfair, but unfortunately not too many cruise lines have come along yet where they're offering solo rooms and adjusting accordingly for solo travelers. So they'll still look at you as though you're one person taking up the space of two. That means they're going to charge you for that. So do your research before you travel. Again, this one's not necessarily a deal breaker, but cruising may not be for you.
And finally, number 7, you like to support local.
This one describes us to a T, and it's one of the big reasons we did not think that cruising was for us. And it definitely won't be one of the main ways that we travel, for exactly that reason. When you're going on a cruise, especially a large one like we're on, you are supporting a major multinational corporation with the vast majority of your vacation dollars. It's not something we usually like to do. We love to find the local spots to eat, to go out, the nightlife. If we're gonna shop, we don't do a lot of shopping, but we definitely like to put our money into the economies that we're visiting, and especially not just the touristy big ticket items, but really get in there and support the mom and pops in places. Unfortunately, when you're cruising, that's really not that much of an option, and you don't get too many opportunities to do that. So if supporting local is a priority for you when you travel, we definitely get it, and cruising probably just is not the best match for you.
In summary, we're really enjoying this cruise, and we're likely to do more cruises in the future, and not just to Antarctica.
Absolutely. And, cruising's not for everyone, and that's totally okay. There's so many different ways to travel, and you can just choose your own adventure. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you joining us for this roundup, and we can't wait to take you on our next adventure. See you next time.